Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
Strawberry on cream slacks, that's not a good combination.
No, it's pretty ugly. I thought they should comp everything we'd purchased that day.
We comp 50% of everything on his bill, sir. We can only do what we can do.
You ruined Father's Day.
In my courtroom, it's about equity and fairness. You want him to pay $628.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, knock my socks off. Justice should be more than just some foreign concept. I actually want you to learn something. The law talks about something may in fact be true, but can they prove it? And that's what's tough.
Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Floyd Browning claims he was just trying to enjoy a movie when his cell phone and dress slacks were ruined. Mr. Browning is suing movie theater owner Jerry Maxon in the amount of $720. Mr. Maxon claims he resolved the situation already, and there's no evidence to show that his employee caused damage to the plaintiff's cell phone.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
All parties been sworn, Your Honor.
Third, get Deputy Thomas. Had a bad experience at the movies.
I did.
And tell me exactly what happened, Mr. Browning.
My family and I are members, Sapphire level members of the Genuine Dine-In movie theater. As such, we pay a certain amount a year for the guarantee of a certain movie theater experience. So
and Mr. Maxon, the Sapphire level, if you are a member, what does that give you? What's the benefit?
Well, that gives you access to tickets before they are released to the public. And you, of course, get the fine dining experience.
And is this a service that you pay every month? Is it a yearly thing?
It's an annual fee.
It's an annual fee to be a Sapphire member.
Yes, sir.
And you've used it and taken advantage and enjoyed all the trappings that go along with being a Sapphire member.
That's correct.
All right. And this experience, not so much.
Not so much.
Okay.
Not so much. Father's Day last year, my children were looking forward to seeing a movie that came out that weekend, and so they and my wife, they arranged to do part of the Father's Day experience at the Genuine Dine-In.
The family decides to take you out for Father's Day.
Yes.
And you are the king of the castle in this one moment.
Except that I had to work.
And you had to work on that Sunday.
On that Sunday.
Okay. And you came from work to meet them afterwards?
That's correct.
And then you said, well, we'll make the best of the afternoon, evening.
Yes, sir.
And you decided to go to the movies.
We did.
Okay.
Everything was great. We expect a certain level of service. That's what we were receiving. We were in our seats that we had chosen beforehand. The wait staff took our order. Kids loaded up the order with everything they wanted to get, you know, the sliders and the popcorn and the sodas. And we were having a good time. Took out my phone because I hate phones at movie theaters. Made sure it was off. Set it on the
Good for
armrest.
You. Excellent.
A few minutes later, the waitress was very nervous. I found out later it was her first day, so she was hesitant. We had to correct her several times with the order.
Mr. Maxon, were you there that day, sir?
Yes, I was, sir.
All right. You were present to see what ultimately occurred.
No, sir, I wasn't right there. I mean,
but you were on the premises.
I was on the premises,
all right.
Yes, sir.
You got a nervous waitress that this is her server, who this is her first day.
Yeah, we found out later it was her first day.
Okay.
Yeah, she comes back with a tray full of everything we ordered.
Right.
Starts to unload the food. Kids are very happy. Gets down to me and my wife, and she takes something off the tray that causes it to overbalance, spilling strawberry soda onto my cream-colored slacks.
Okay, strawberry on cream slacks. That's not a good combination.
No, it's pretty ugly.
All right. And I take it that's why we're here, because you want to recover the cost for the new pair of pants.
The spill also hit the phone that I mentioned that was on the armrest of the chair.
Yes, sir. And the phone was also damaged.
That's correct.
Sounds pretty simple to me, Mr. Maxon.
Well, at the time we checked his phone, he turned it on in front of us.
Who's we?
My staff checked it. I'm sorry, my tech. No, I was not present.
Okay. Then you can only speculate as to what happened.
Yes, well, my staff told me.
Okay, what your staff told you, unless they're here,
yes, sir.
I'm getting it secondhand. You're saying that you received some information from people who work with you.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
That information led you to conclude that the phone was okay.
Yes.
All right. Let me hear from Mr. Browning.
I checked my phone. I mean, I powered it back up to make sure it was working, but it was a quick cursory once-over, seemed to work, unlocked, could swipe menus, turn it back off.
There was a conversation about concerns involving your phone.
Yes.
Were the employees present when this was taking place?
The on-site manager was there.
Okay. And when you were checking your phone, while that other person was there, the phone was operable.
It was at that moment,
Okay.
yeah.
The only issue was the pair of pants.
Well, later that night,
No, I'm saying at that moment.
At that moment, yes.
Did you decide to continue to watch the movie and enjoy Father's Day, or did you say, "All right, let's go home, the evening's ruined for
Well,
me"?
before the previews got rolling, I stepped out to the bathroom to try and get it clean. Came back. Kids didn't want to leave, and I wasn't going to destroy what was left of Father's Day. They offered us another seat, but it was the opening weekend of a really big movie, and so there was nowhere to move. And then they said, we can give you tickets for the next one, but the next one would have been the next day. So
Okay.
it's Father's Day, so I went, okay, I'll sit here in the dark.
You're a big boy. You can handle it.
Yeah.
Dads have to suck it up sometimes.
That's correct,
For the sake
sir.
of the family.
It's about sacrifice.
Right. That's right. That's right.
Coming up on America's Court,
I thought they should comp everything we'd purchased that day.
We
including
comp
movie tickets.
50% of everything on his bill, sir. We can only do what we can do.
You ruined Father's Day.
and later,
Well, in the second month I was there, after a month and a half I was there, there was a shooting in the kitchen.
Stop. Explain.
closed captioning provided by. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Floyd Browning, who is suing movie theater owner Jerry Maxon for $720.
The issue that we have here right now is you want to recover the cost of the pants, and I take it the phone.
And when I got home, the phone, it would power up, but nothing else.
Okay.
Couldn't
Mr.
get-
Maxon, you don't feel as though the theater should have to pay for the pants or the phone?
We offered
just the
him-
pants, just the phone.
We offered to reimburse him for his pants and the phone at the time, but he said it was working.
no.
And then I get a call the next
That
morning
didn't
saying that
happen.
he
Well, why
called
would
an
you
hours
have
later.
to? I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Why would you say we'll reimburse you for the phone if, in fact, it was working?
Well, because we thought it wasn't working. Then they said that it was working. So then we thought, oh,
Who's we?
We,
Because
my
if
staff. My
okay,
staff.
you weren't there.
No, I wasn't there. I
This
was
is
informed
all
by my staff,
secondhand
sir.
information. He powers up the phone in that moment, and the phone seems to be working.
The phone was working at the time, sir.
Was there a conversation regarding reimbursement for the pants?
At the time, yes, the pants.
The only
yes,
thing they
there
offered
was.
to do is give us a 50% discount on the concessions, on the food. I
Okay.
thought they should comp everything we'd purchased that day,
We
including
comp
movie
50%
tickets.
of everything on his bill, sir. We can only do what we can do.
You ruined Father's Day.
Sir,
Ruined
we,
Father's Day.
ruined Father's Day, sir!
Okay, it's hyperbolic.
so didn't mean to ruin anything, sir.
Well, we know. I mean, obviously, everyone understands that people have their first day at work.
Sweet
and-
girl, she didn't mean to do it.
Right.
You know?
I mean, it was just an unfortunate set of circumstances, an accident, if you will. The issue here is you don't want to pay for the cost of the pants, because if they're like...
We
are
did
those- are those
reimburse.
the
We
pants?
gave him
Let me
reimbursement.
Let me,
for those.
let me see. I can see it from here.
Okay.
You can't dry clean that.
We offered to reimburse him, sir. We already...
For the pants?
Yes, yes.
You have proof of the cost of the pants, sir?
He
You have
deliberately
proof of-
said no.
We're talking now.
Oh, I do. I do.
Because clearly, you cannot get this out of this color. These pants cost $220?
Yes, sir.
Really? Where are you shopping?
You'd have to ask my wife. Sir.
Wow.
Sir, we offered to reimburse...
I
me
don't
and my
have a
staff.
question. There's no question.
Oh, okay,
pending
yes,
right
sir.
now. I'm still dealing with the $220 pants.
Yes, sir.
Previous Father's Day gift.
Okay. There's wear and tear with these pants. So for a new pair of pants, I'd have to look at and adjust that amount because that is sort of pricey. Is this, oh, these feel like they're linen.
Yes, sir.
That's okay. Still not $220, but they are linen. And we're going to do something about the pants. And let's talk about the balance because that leaves us with $500. What's the $500 for the phone?
Yes, sir.
And you have proof of that?
I do.
I'm going back.
Going back. And
true.
how long do you have the phone, sir?
About 3 years.
You have a warranty on the phone? I mean, insurance?
I do, but insurance is invalidated by liquid damage. There's a little thing inside the back of the phone. It's like a white circle that has red squares in it. So when you try to do an insurance claim on a phone, they check that because the red squares will bleed.
Okay.
And so that warranty is invalid.
All right.
Insurance is invalid.
And given the style of the phone, that cost is not unreasonable, $500. What say you, sir?
Well, how do I know that? I mean, the phone was working. My staff told me, I'm not going to say we again, my staff told me that he tried his phone in that moment that had just been spilled on, yes.
You've never had
and
an
the phone was
experience where
working.
a phone is working 1 minute and then it...
Right. And then apparently the call
That's
came
not
in hours
uncommon.
later.
Stop.
Sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
not uncommon. That's not inconceivable. That's not unreasonable. What else do you want to tell me, sir?
Well, how do I know that he's telling the truth? I mean, this man obviously wears very
Because
fine
it's not
clothes.
your call to try to figure out if he's telling the truth. That's my job.
Yes, sir.
Anything else?
Not that I can think at the moment, sir.
Okay. Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, clearly the gavel must come down in favor of the plaintiff. He was there for a service. He didn't want strawberry drink spilled on him. He didn't want his linen light pants to be ruined. He didn't want his phone to be damaged. Your employee caused those situations to occur. You have to pay for them to the tune of $720. That is your order. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $720.
It's not about the cost of the pants and the phone. It's about customer service. You expect a little better treatment on Father's Day.
I'm sorry that my staff didn't give him the best service, but his phone was working before he left. I don't see why we have to pay for that.
And coming up on America's Court with Judge Ross.
Well, in the second month I was there, after a month and a half I was there was a shooting in the kitchen.
Stop. Explain.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Jenny Tao claims she was scammed out of 4 months of rent. She's suing Nakia Thomas in the amount of $2,600. Ms. Thomas claims Ms. Tao is a slumlord and she feels she shouldn't have to pay.
Ms. Tao, you're the landlord. There was an issue of rent.
Yes.
There was an issue of repairs. You said, I'm not going to pay the rent.
Correct.
Is this an apartment? Is it a...
It's a house.
It's a house.
Yes. So there's like 6 people in the house.
6 people in one house.
Yes.
And
So there's 3 rooms at
is
the
it like
bottom.
a boarding situation
Yeah. So
with you all sharing a common area?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
So what I do is I have a lot of properties throughout Los Angeles.
Yes.
And I buy houses and rent out the rooms.
And was there a common bathroom?
Yes.
All right. You had to share the bathroom, the open space, and the kitchen with the other 5 people.
Correct.
How much were you paying a month?
I was paying $650 a month.
You were paying $650. And how many people were in the house?
6 together.
There were 6 of them. Okay. And you were paying that amount for how long?
For the first 2 months I paid it.
And what happened after those 60 days?
Well, in the second month I was there, after a month and a half I was there was a shooting in the kitchen.
Stop. Explain.
About a month and a half later, after she moved in, there was an incident. He had a gathering, and at that gathering, one of his guests shot another guest. And that's what was the isolated incident that caused her to feel so much fear not to pay rent.
Okay, I get that.
So the first month, I didn't know what to do.
You make it sound like that's unreasonable.
Don't pay the rent.
People getting shot up in here, and I'm not paying rent.
coming up on America's Court.
Then the door swells from the rain, so sometimes you can't even close it. So anyone can walk in. There's a homeless guy that lives behind the house that, I've told her about
You got to get out of that place.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Jenny Tao, who is suing Nakia Thomas for unpaid rent.
That makes sense why you didn't pay rent. How long are we talking about you not paying rent?
Well, I haven't paid since after I paid July when I moved in, and then I paid August, and that's when the incident happened, so I haven't paid since August.
And that is how long?
4 months.
Well, how long do you think you're supposed to stay there and not pay rent?
When she can fix the problems in the house that I've been telling her about. And
What
when
are the
she
problems
kicks
other than the shooting?
So the fridge will stop working.
I'm sorry, what?
The refrigerator will stop working.
The
So
refrigerator would stop working.
Yes, so food spoils, and we have to throw away
Were
all
you
our
made
food.
aware of that?
No, anything
I
to
told
do
her.
with slumlording thing is new to me.
I
brought
told her.
her here
Because
just
she's
for the-
accusing you of being a slumlord.
Yes.
I told her.
You told her. You told her orally?
Yes, I called her.
You called
Whether
her?
she decides to I leave messages because she doesn't pick up all the time.
And
All
I
right.
really did think that she was joking after the fact that she preferred not to have her credit harmed than leaving. So which I was going to, well, let's forget the lease then. You go ahead, because if you feel this endangered,
But
And
now
so
we're
when
not
I
talking
thought that
about
was-
danger. We're talking about food spoiling in the
Yes.
refrigerator.
Yeah, and then there's mold in the closet.
All right.
Then the door swells from the rain, so sometimes you can't even close it. So anyone can walk in. There's a homeless guy that lives behind the house that, I've told her about
You
too.
got to get out of that place.
But the wood swells from the temperature.
It's like Nightmare on
And-
Elm Street up in
And we're
there.
down in
It's-
South
it's
Central where the
more.
homeless, the eatery and the cafeterias and everything for the homeless is just down the street.
Did you put
So-
it in writing about the door swelling, the mold, and the refrigerator not working?
I did not.
Okay. See, this is an example of when you crack open the Google. What are my rights as a tenant? And I'm in California. What are my rights as a tenant and I'm in Ohio? What are my rights as a tenant and I'm in Kentucky?
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. You're watching America's Court with Judge Ross. This is America's Court with Judge Ross.
So, based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel has to come down in favor of the plaintiff. Because you didn't do your due diligence. You're a grown woman, you're going to have to handle these things, right? And somebody watching is going, okay, I see what I need to do. You just got to handle business. Because really, you need your own place. Because that's how people attain wealth and prosperity. They don't just keep renting all their whole lives. So, but you have to do it the right way. Right? Okay, that is the order. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $2,600.
I agree with the ruling, but I also understand where Ms. Thomas is coming from too. I'm going to make it a priority to clean up and address the safety issues for the tenants.
I wish the judge ruled in my favor, but now I do know the proper steps as a renter, and I will be back in court soon to get my money back.
Follow America's Court on Facebook and Twitter. This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.